PlayStation is discontinuing services for the PlayStation 4. You got a PlayStation 4? Hey, you better upgrade. Oh, you can't afford an upgrade? Then get out of here with your broke ass. Hello humans, and welcome to another episode of Gen X Gamer. One of the things that I hate about modern gaming is this, right? I mean, I've never had the Genesis discontinue services, right? I've never had my Super Nintendo do it, or any other of my favorite retro consoles. But this is modern gaming today, right? The PlayStation 5 might be the best-selling console of all time for Sony, but is it the best? I would say no. I would say no because of all the repros, even all the games that you got from the PlayStation 4. I mean, it hasn't been, as far as content, it hasn't been impressive. I own it. I'm not saying it as a hater, right? But if you gave me to choose between the library of the PS4 and the PS5, there is no contest. Absolutely no contest. The PS4 was way better. And as a matter of fact, we're already talking about the PS6. That's how transitional the PS5 has been. You know, other than looking like bell-bottom pants, as far as the design, there's not a lot to remember for this console. And now they're already discontinuing service. Now, rather than just sit here and you know, talk smack about Sony and what have you, let's get into the nitty-gritty, and let me tell you what is and isn't going to happen. Apparently, if the rumors are true, if the reports are true out there, it's going to be spring of 2026. So it's almost here. Maybe next year sometime, who knows? Right? But when it happens, let's talk about what you're going to have access to and what is going to be done. Let's get into it. All right, guys. So let's get down to brass tacks. What does it mean for us, right? The everyday player, right? Sony has stated publicly that the PlayStation 4 online services will end 2026. They did not shut down the console today or anything, right? Don't get me wrong. They roughly gave not even a year, say within a year, a warning. But below that, it means that based on all public information available today, I think, at least from what I could read, it's going to stop working on spring of 2026, right? These are some of the services that rely on Sony's network infrastructure that people are using today. Online multiplayer, number one. You will not be able to join any online matches or host them. Any game that Sony needs a service to authenticate online will no longer work online, right? Of course, the PlayStation Store, access from the PS4 console. You will not be able to buy new digital games, DLC, or add-ons on the PS4 storefront. That's usually the way it works, right? This is usually what happens when they shut down services, right? Sony usually removes the ability to purchase, but often they keep purchase history downloads, So hopefully you can keep your purchases, not make sure you download them, I guess, install them before anything happens. PS4 game patches distributed through Sony servers. You will not be able to receive title updates or fixes or anything like that if they shut down, right? Games already patched on your console will still run. But games that depend on day one patches to function correctly offline might have issues if they're not already installed, right? So if you're going to buy any PS4 games, I guess we better rush before they shut it down. Cloud saves, right? The PS Plus could save syncing. Will probably stop for the PS4 titles, right? The local saves are still going to remain, but I guess the cloud ones, they might take them down most likely. I mean, all this thing is about reducing costs, making more money, of course. Signing in from the PS4 for purchase, trophies, friends list, party chat, messaging, communities, all that stuff is going to stop, right? Because they don't want to spend money on that. PS4 exclusive apps, right? Any apps that you have installed that are exclusive to the PS4, some of them will still work until whoever the provider is, I don't know, like Netflix or YouTube, I guess, until they disconnect from Sony. But anything that relies on Sony is not going to work.
But what will still work, right? Let's just go into the positive, if there's any to this. Physical games, of course, will still work. They'll boot normally. Digital games that you already downloaded using your license, those usually still work. Hopefully they'll still work and we won't have any problems. You know, Sony has historically honored local licenses after shutdown, so that shouldn't be a problem, like they did with the PSP and the PS3. Single player offline modes, those should be playable, right? Hopefully they're not going to do that, you know, that you need to be connected to the internet crap. Couch and co-op split screen will continue to function, right? So that's a good thing, I guess, if you're playing with somebody else. External USB storage with installed games, right? So anything that you put to a USB, you know, I mean, it'll still be there. But here's what you should do before 2026 or whenever this happens, right? You need to download every game that you purchased, install the updates and patches, back up your saves to a USB device or somewhere. Make a list of any online games that you enjoy before they start functioning. Maybe you want to purchase them, you know, whatever. Black Friday sale, Cyber Monday, you know, whatever. But there are games that are going to be hit hard. You know, Destiny 1 and 2, for example, The Division, Rainbow Six Siege, Star Wars Battlefront, 2015, 2017, GTA Online for the PS4. You know, I mean, geez. I mean, some of those, right, people are still playing pretty actively. Now, you may ask yourself, why are you doing this? Well, of course, to move you over to the PS5. But Sony has already ended their first-party development for the PS4. They have shifted everything to the PS5 and cloud services. You know, so maintaining this type of network access for older consoles is just, you know, dead weight in their eyes, right? With tens of millions of devices, it's expensive, right? And they don't want to keep on doing it, which is, again, it's unfortunate, but it's modern gaming. You know, we didn't have to deal with any of this crap back in the day. You know, so just remember, I mean, this does not mean that Sony's going to be locking your physical games or deleting your digital purchases or anything like that. But, you know, they're not disabling the hardware, but still, you know, at the end of the day, these kind of moves in modern gaming really suck.
All right, guys, that's the video. That is modern gaming for you today. That's a part that I really hate about the industry nowadays, where, you know, they can just cut you off, right? Forget about your online gaming, forget about your patches, updates. You are donezo, absolutely donezo, and there's nothing you can do about it. Unless the, you know, homebrew market starts kicking in, right? And all the fans come in there. Because the PS4 was a love console. It was great for its time. It completely destroyed the Xbox during its time. So, you know, for them just to cut people off at the knee, especially, there's a lot of countries out there, guys, where they haven't really had access to the PS5, nor could afford it at these crazy prices. You know, when people are still buying games for the PS4, trading games for the PS4, you know, they've stopped development. It's just nuts, guys. These days of video games, to me, are just completely nuts and not consumer friendly at all. What do you guys think? Do you still have the PS4? I do. And I got plenty of games. How many of them are going to work? I don't know. I guess I better update everything and back it up, because if not, Sony might just tell me to go to hell. I'll catch you on the next one. Make sure you like and subscribe if you like these kind of videos. And join if you can for 99 cents. Take care.